It works. All right. Well, if anybody comes on, we're going to hear them because they're going to be screaming at us. And I'll share screens just to be proactive on that. Hide floating media controls. All righty. Well, cool. Why? The Fiji bits. I'm going to use the database that I sent you all. And I think the only thing I'm going to do with this one is I know I was talking with Chris today and he said the site stratum are not in here, but I think a way just to screen out for plow zone is just to filter features to 0 or null. And then because all the features that you all excavated, you all put in a feature number on. So you're given a nod back. Hopefully that's the case. I think for the big ones that would have a lot of artifacts, they're going to have a feature number. So that's probably just something you want to add to all the queries. But I know there we go. So have you all had a chance to play with Access? I think a lot of y'all have. Yeah, awesome. And I guess I put in these queries right here that are for like just getting some baseline information on your data. So like this one, when you run it, this is a super detailed list of artifacts right here. And this one is detailed because the comp field is in here, which is like every single typological description for all the artifacts. And then all of the provenience and sample type, like all these fields are in here. And when you look at this under view, like when you go to see what fields are here, this is where this one is not a total. It doesn't have totals. This one just runs everything together. Like every single line of data that's been entered is in this query. So, and then for the other one, this one, the artifact summary, this one, like this one has something like, oh, this thing is in the way. Move it to there. This one has like God, 15,420 lines. And then this one has 377 rows, because when you look at this one only has the comp field and it doesn't have any of the provenience in it. So that what this query is like a summary of the entire site. So this is like the number of unidentified, like the amount of lead shot that's at the site is 10 pieces. And I guess there's two categories for munitions. One is military hardware, which probably ours is not military hardware, it's just munitions, but it's still the same. It's ammunition, but there's like a total of 21 here for the whole site. And that's for everything that was excavated from 2019 forward and has been cataloged so far.
So this one's more along the lines of like it's quantifiable based on the MCAT numbers that we have.
Yeah, exactly. So when you look at this one, like when you go into the view right here, that's where this thing is on right here, this total. And when, like, if you toggle this, you'll notice down here, like when I turn this on, see all these things come up, these total tools. So there's the group by, and then there's the which lists every single unique occurrence, and then the sum is like it just sums it up. And then this one is a special one that is a it calculates the number of ounces for all the artifacts, so it multiplies the pounds by 16 because there's 16 ounces in a pound, and then the grams by whatever number it is, I can't remember. And then, so I wrote this one just so you all would have it. So you'd have the, like, if you're looking at the amount of bone or the amount of ceramic or the amount of arc mat, you'd have the ounces, which makes a lot more sense than counting, because you could have like 5,000 brick fragments, but they're like this much, or you could have 10 brick fragments and they can fill the whole table because they're whole bricks. So, but yeah, so for this query right here, like if we wanted to put in, like, say for this one, we wanted to look at, stone versus brick, like the total amount. What we could do is on this one is, first look at the data, run it. And if we go down to, like masonry, like this category for masonry right here, it has all that. So what we could do to try to start getting the query down is we could put in masonry right here as a criteria statement. And now when we run this, all it's selecting for is masonry. And so in this case, what you can see is the categories over here. Like if you wanted to get to the total amount of brick and the total amount of stone, what you could do is in the query, put in like brick or stone right here, and then get rid of these categories, actually get rid of the comp category, and then it would summarize it by brick and by stone, because those would be the only unique fields that would be there. So to do this, what we do is, and it's really good to go from a very broad query that has everything to start narrowing down your fields so you know what the query is doing. Like the worst thing is to like go into a query like this and put in a whole bunch of criteria, and then you run it and nothing is there, and you're like, what did I do wrong? So for this one, like if I put in mortar like this, and I run it, nothing's coming up. So because I misspelled mortar, and the computer does not have AI, it does not know. But if you put in, and this is where I love the asterisk field, if you put in more and then asterisks, it's a wild card, and then it'll bring up mortar. So this is the only category of mortar. Is that true? Is that the only category of mortar? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like mortar. Holy cow, it's just in one line. So, but actually what we want is brick. So we'll do brick and then run this. And here's all the different types of brick. And if we wanted to put in stone as well, say brick or stone, and we run this, here's all the brick and stone. But if we wanted to collapse this into like the total amount of stone and the total amount of brick, so just 2 lines, what field would we get rid of? If we wanted to just have it be 2 lines of data, like the total amount of brick and the total amount of mortar, or I'm sorry, the total amount of brick and the total amount of stone, what 2 fields would we get? What 1 field will we get rid of? That's, breaking these into multiple categories. Like if you wanted to get, huh? Yeah, exactly. We get rid of comp. So when we delete this one, now what it does is it compiles it on the unique fields that are there, which is brick and stone. And now there's like, God, 12,000 ounces of brick, which is like, I don't know how many, it's like almost 10,000 pounds? No, that's a little crazy. Now, how many pounds is 12 ounces? I guess that's about right. And then this would be like, does this sound right?
Oh, 776 divided by 16 is 798.
798. So 798 pounds of stone or a brick.
Or, yeah, brick. How much is this stone there?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how much a brick bag weighs, it's like about 40 pounds. And we got a bunch of those. So it adds up. It adds up. So that's the total amount. So you can see what's kind of surprising is that there is a lot of there's more brick than stone. And this is where sometimes, like you need to look at the data and think about it. And so one way to do this is if we put in unit, we can see if there's one unit that has like 5,000 pounds of brick. And of course, that'd be a data error, a data entry error. So let's do that. Let's put in units. And that would be under purveyance. So we go to here and put in unit. And now when we run, and we'll just run this. And ounces, sort largest. No, that looks about right. There's some units with a lot of brick. Yeah. So I don't see anything there that's like seems to be an error. It's pretty consistent. So like 643 ounces is like 40 pounds. And that's about right for like a bag. So with this, what you can do is like you could pretty much take this and you could index it on ceramic function. And then you could give this to Chris, and he could Chris is going to start making feature classes in GIS so you all can plot this stuff on maps. And I think some of you all know enough about GIS where you could probably do this on your own, go into GIS and do the relate because it's pretty easy. And what you do is you'd relate it on the unit number. So, but one thing about this is sometimes it's really nice, like if you're comparing multiple groups of artifacts, like if you're comparing stone and brick, it might be nice to have all that in one table. And so one thing you can do is instead of having this just in a table like this, you could make what's called a crosstab query. And then here, what you'd get is this new line right here. And so you can put this, you can make these rows, all these rows, and then the ounces will make as a value. And we're not going to use number. And that's where not shown. Make this not shown. And then under unit, make that a column. And when you run this, oops, I want to do it the other way. Never mind. I want to make this a row. And then this one a column. And this one not shown. Make this where. And now and run this. Now this is unit, and then you can see how much brick and stone are in each one. And if you want me to, I could save this as a query. And then what you all could do is you can take this same query like this one right here. And like if we wanted to look at nails and look at rot versus cut nails, what we could do is go into this and under ceramic function for nails, no matter what kind of nail it is nail. And then if you look at if you're trying to figure out what categories to use, you can also write queries on individual tables to figure out like what you're looking for. So in this case, we could do this one of two ways. You could either create a new query, or you could use this summary, the detailed list of artifacts right here, and start drilling into this one. So like here's if we go into this one and look at nails, here's all the nails right here. And I think to get to like rot, there's a category under North Some South called 1. Let's make ceramic function, make this into nails, nail. Now when we run this, screen is not big enough. Slide this over. Ow. Why did I put 1 in here? Notes. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, 1. Yeah, this field here, 1, gives you whether it's a hand wrought or machine cut right there. So you can separate those out. So now what you could do is you could go to this artifact summary and bring in this category of 1 right here. And let's make this go into design. We're just going to make this a select query right here. And now when we run this, we're going to get rid of masonry. So like nail, and then when we run this, this gives you hand wrought versus machine cut. So this seems to be working. Now when we make this crosstab query right here, hit the crosstab, we can put this as the column. Oh, make this not shown, make that where. And now this gives you hand wrought versus machine cut. And there's different categories of machine cut. There's machine cut with a hand wrought head, and then these miscellaneous squares of miscellaneous unidentified, you just have to ignore. So, but what I can do is like if you all have specific queries you're looking for, I wanted to give you just a range of things you could do with this. And I could help you all write these because it is kind of a nightmare to write these because one, you have to know what the hell field to bring in and what values to put in there. But then also sometimes setting up the crosstab one can be kind of odd. But this one's super useful because again, like if you're looking at I don't know, different types of ceramics and like the earthenware, coarse earthenwares versus the coarse stonewares, you could put that in there and then have one table with a unit and then all that in there. And then basically once Chris brought that into Art Pro, then like to show the distribution plots, you could switch variables between stoneware, coarse earthenware, or coarse stoneware, or in this case between hand wrought versus machine cut, and then see where the distributions of those are. Because it'd be interesting in this case to see whether the hand wrought nails concentrate in a different area than the machine cut nails. So
Can you show how to actually save this different queries? Because that was something that I didn't understand.
it's not intuitive. It's heinous. So you hit file and then save as, and then it's database. But what you want to do is save object and then save as. And in this case, this was the artifact summary. And just change the name. We'll do this as nail crosstab. Yeah, now it's nail crosstab. And then when you go to into your queries, there's a new one right here for nail crosstab. Yeah, but you have to save object and then save as. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that one. It's like, I don't want to save the database. So what other queries do y'all want to see? Oh, the save as? Yeah. Go to file and then save as and then save object. So, and I'm recording this, so you could always just go in and zoom to that. So, yeah. How's the query writing been going?
Okay.
Hello, Kara, the column speaks.
But so far, it's fine. I appreciate this because there were some parts where I was just confused about, or I didn't want to mess up the whole thing, and then not knowing how to save it either, or how to actually filter it. Like I didn't realize that if you like clicked enter, the like and the asterisks would come up. I
Yeah.
thought I had to manually put that in, so that was also really confusing.
That's, yeah. Mhm.
But, yeah, just the advanced filtering part, I was really lost.
Yeah, a lot of that is, it's nice that it'll format it correctly. The only thing it does that's weird with that is like, for some reason, it'll put in, let me see, yeah, if you hit, it wants to be smart and enter in field names, so you just ignore that. And like, just type until you type what you need. Don't ever select that, because it'll put in some odd things. Yeah.
Could you demonstrate how to further filter the sums per unit by condition? Like if I wanted to see like total number of burnt nails
Yeah, yeah.
per unit.
So this would be good. So if we could actually keep this one as the cross tab and then just look at burnt nails. So in this case, the burnt category is going to be under the data table, and that's going to be under condition. And for that, I think when you'll catalog, there's both, there's partially burned and completely burned, and probably want both, you know, because it's, you know, if it's burned, it's burned. That's the important thing. So under this, what you'd want to do is put, actually, let's start this, sorry, let's start this with the total list of artifacts, because it's nice to, like, before you start doing a cross tab and you don't know what you have in your data, it's nice to just do this without regard to previence. And actually, let me see, this one right here, artifact summary, this one right here, let's do this one, artifact summary, because this is the total, like, unique occurrences of artifacts for what's been cataloged at the overseer's house since 2019. So for partially burned nails, how do we change this, where this, the criterion here to get to nails?
Go under, or it seems like you wanted to type under ceramic.
Under ceramic, yeah. I want to put it under ceramic function, exactly, because I think that would be, I can't remember what that is, and we do this. Oh, it's both. This nails and nails. Yeah. So cool. That's great. And then so that's getting us all the different types of nails, and then we just put in the condition field. So condition, and then we'd put asterisk BU asterisk, because sometimes the burnt could be in a couple of different places. So like in here, it's LB, I can't remember what that is. Oh, L bend, okay. And then see, you all know it, which is awesome. And then the PBU, partially burned. And so this gives like a not very useful list, because it's like all these different categories that are right here. And if we wanted to get this down to, like, say, rot versus cut nails, again, we could go over to Nartsum South and put in 1. And then we'll get rid of the comp field. And now when we run this, this is machine cut and cut nails, all these guys right here. And then what we would do for making the condition just be like burnt, no matter, you know, ignoring all the different variables, is under condition, instead of group by, we could put where, and now it'll no longer list condition, but it'll still filter on this category and collapse it into this. So that's super useful for like drilling down and getting to that sort of thing. So in this case, you can see that there's a total number of like 75 hand wrought burnt nails at the site, and then 321 machine cut nails. And if we wanted to make this by unit, we just put in the unit field. And so for this, what we do is under purveyance, put in unit. And now we've got this. And if you wanted to, if you wanted to just look at the total number of nails for whether they're hand wrought or wrought, again, you just get rid of one. And this is by unit, the total number of burnt nails that are out there. And this should be, yeah, this is, and for nails, you probably gonna ignore weight, because weight doesn't give you much, because there could be like crustaceans for a burnt nail attached, and that doesn't, and nails are nails. They're like, it's a nail. It's, you're not gonna have a nail busted into 30 pieces like you're gonna have a brick. It's might be broken in half, so.
Is there a way to make that even smaller with the units? Like, can it say like unit 2646 has this many nails instead of having 2646 written multiple times? Like, is that what this is?
Yeah, this is all the units should be collapsed into one line. Yeah, that's this, yeah, there's like 58 lines here, and I think there's about 58 units at the site, like from 2019. So yeah, this is all collapsed by that. And this one thing we'd want to do with this is, with all these queries, you'll want to do is, we'll want to put in feature and say, 0 or null. Because, and it looks like it's null, because we don't want to have the features. Because I don't think any of y'all are analyzing what's from the features. It's all from the plow zone, right?
Yeah.
So,
I asked Chris about it during the meeting. I said that it's probably so much like minute for me that it doesn't matter. I don't know if that's like because I was asking about that, like how would I account for that in the way that I search stuff, but they said for me not to worry about it.
okay. Well,
I'm using. But
Yeah.
most of my stuff would have been in water screen, so it's not in there anyway.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, I guess there, I don't know if there's much funnel in the burrow pit. There was. Yeah. Well,
I don't
let's see. Let's put in, but there, you all did some visual recovery.
Yeah, there were
Some
there were some.
Well, let's see that, like, the category funnel, let me see. Finishing burn. Let's just see how much bone there is. That did not work. Is it bone? I can't remember what the ceramic function is.
I think it should be faunal because there's the shell and the bone.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
under-
bone. Yeah, it's for under ceramic function, it's bone. And now we'll put under this one, we'll put greater than 0 for feature, greater than 0. And now, yeah, there isn't much bone. It's like this, it's like a total number of like that many. And I can't, what's the feature number for the burrow pit?
It's 147
147 and
and 197.
197, nothing in 197. Ah, okay. Yeah, and this is all going to be like probably visual recovery. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's much. Let's see how much is in nails. Yeah, for nails, like feature 155. That's oh, okay. Yeah, so there's like 17 nails. So it's not going to add up to much. So if you don't have that the excluding the feature in your query, it's not going to hurt anything. So let's look at 2669 for unit 2669 and well, there's only 6 nails in unit 2. Is unit 2669 a feature unit? Okay, so there's only 6 nails above in the plow zone above 2669, so you probably do want to, I'll take it back, you want to exclude it, so. But that's pretty easy to do, is just to put in bring in the feature and put 0 or null. And that means anything that's listed as 0 or null in that. So. What else do you all want to see? Cool. Well, as you all think of stuff, let me know if you have problems with queries or want to filter things down. So it is 3:30. Sorry, you all. No, you'll have to get going. So, and I let's see. Stop share. It looks like nobody joined us. So this is not a popular TV program here.